I thought it was a very difficult match for us, more especially. And coming here, we knew that we were playing a team that is very quick, aggressive in attack, well coached, pressing high after losing possession. A team that plays more of a modern game that is sustainable and beautiful to watch. And a team they have desire to get the space behind you if you leave any. And
No, don't ignore him, please continue.
and we found it difficult indeed, but above all very tactical. And I thought from a defensive point of view we defended very well. The only thing that we needed to complement was to inform our defensive shape when we attack, where once or twice we came out, but we needed to come out more often. When you're sitting in the block, closing the passing lanes, as soon as you regain possession, you're looking to find your top players, it'd be your number 9 or your 2 10s. It didn't happen too often, but each time it happened, there was hope. We suffered a lot, more especially in the midfield, and compliment must be given to Komphela. He worked extremely hard, Piri as well, Noshitolo, for obvious reasons that we did not release Untsimbi Nolunga. We wanted to close the spaces wide. You can imagine if you give the wide space to Mango, if you give the wide space to Lodge, or you allow Mulenga to run into that space, it's great danger. You're literally playing into their hands. So we tried to nullify that. To an extent, I thought we managed that very well. Then Makaringe was more the one who seemed to be playing, because deliberately so we had allowed the ball to be played more wide than central, and tried to keep Nyatama quiet, keep Mlambo quiet, because if they start to be on song, then they'll be dropping balls behind your defense. And that plan, in my opinion, I think worked well, except the fact that we did not get a goal. Could we have gotten a goal? I think so. First half, CBC had a header. I thought if he dropped the head, that ball could have gone in from set play. There was also a beautiful counter-attack. Mutizo played a ball across. Unfortunately, Solomon couldn't finish. And many other scrappy chances. Did Orlando Pirates get chances? Yes, they did. Beautiful save from Sibande as well. And a beautiful block from Mulunga. So there were actions. It was more of a nice match for tacticians, but not too nice a match for someone who just loves to watch football. So it was tactical, and I know when we go down there, Dala Fair, this and that, very tactical a match was. But we are happy with the result. It gives great pride and pleasure. And one, not that an opportunity is being given or granted, but that deservedly so. I've worked with RULANI. We've had lots of interactions, and many of us know him. He's just a monster when it comes to consuming information, and he's still very young as well. There's a bright future in him. Now, if we want to give hope to the rest of the other young coaches up and coming, and then we want to switch off this light that we see in RULANI, it would be catastrophic. I just hope, but the first thing that would have to happen is for him to move into an immediate realization and acceptance zone. But where he is, it's hot. I remember Sakala once said it, that this city is very hot. And it is indeed. Now, all we can say to him is that, listen, as much as he received the support from Orlando Pirates, whether from the supporters, administration, and all those, he must keep pushing. It is a wonderful opportunity. It's a unique one. He must enjoy it and treasure it. Because come tomorrow when he looks back, he must not regret the fact that, goodness me, I had the opportunity, I never enjoyed. And he must bring his brains. Football is about brains. He's got sharp brains. So he must bring his brains, his ideas, work within the institution to try better the South African game as well. And that would also, it goes with Fadlu Davids, and it goes with any other young coach out there. Dinosaurs like us are just about to go. we're at the stage where now we are nearing the end. Now, who's going to take the baton? But then we have a responsibility as well, South Africans, members of media, to see the light and assist the ones we think can assist us. You can imagine the minute we cut the light, it means it's just going to be dark and we'll get no one. And then come tomorrow, there's no electricity, it's dark. Again, Steve Komphela started. There's no electricity, it's dark. You say, but you cut the light by denying the opportunity of a shining star. He's got unbelievable brains. He must not get tired. He must just focus on his job. And I'm sure one way or the other, the Almighty will reward him. The only thing that you can rest on is focus and self-belief. And you concentrate on the project and sometimes paying attention to what you're working on. There will always be distractions. There will always be submissions, comments, observations, and all that. And we are living in a world where there's instantaneous fact-finding, or as I'm talking now, whatever I say, somebody just checks. As soon as you give out your team sheet, already somebody has an opinion. But we must live with that kind of world today. And the minute you tend to want to listen too much to that instantaneous comment and all that, it will break you. Yes, you'll have to listen. But sometimes you don't have to listen too much because it spins your head, because in 20 seconds, whatever we said here is in the US, wherever. So it is a world that is so complex for us modern coaches and worse for young coaches. You must just focus. Look at the next match. What is it that I want to play? How do I want Orlando Pirates to play? Or how does Orlando Pirates play? There will always be noise and all that. Listen, welcome that. By the way, if there's no noise, then there should be something wrong, because there are so many competitors and so many teams out here who obviously wouldn't want to see things work well, maybe for Orlando Pirates. So you must know that sometimes the voices are not actually the real voices. There might also be voices from people who just want to make voice. I wish I could say this in English properly. Mohale hat mihabo. Iqhawe alamkelwa lule ekhaya. Kumele kuhambe ugcwala indawo ze kucace ukuba bayakwamkela ekhaya. And abanye abantu xa ugcwele indawo yonke bayakwamkela, babone into yenzayo, kodwa ekhaya bakwamkela. It's more like we are so used to ourselves that I don't see myself. I'm so familiar with the couch that I bought last year, I don't even see it. But the first time I bought that couch, it was perfect. I could even smell the leather. So that we are so used to the quality that we have in this country, sometimes we tend to neglect it. Maybe somebody else realized that there's something here. We wish him the very best. And it is not only Senong. Serame as well went to Botswana. There's a stage where Brashates had gone to Swaziland. Kenny Ndlazi had gone to Swaziland. Maybe Mandla Ncekazi will have to go somewhere as well. Who knows? Maybe myself. There's nothing wrong in going out there, but circumstances as well. Do you want to tell me that the amount of knowledge and information they have can be shared with our own people here? They should. One big mistake that I think South Africans still commit is to take football lightly or take sports lightly. I still maintain the day we regard sport with the same significance and importance as education, you're going to develop a nation. The same values embedded in sports are embedded in education. Whether it talks respect, responsibility, self-esteem, whatever, all that happens within sport happens in education. Maybe at some stage we need to superimpose or drive our sports and education simultaneously so that the nation can develop. Those who cannot be good academically, then their sporting leg should support their lives. Not everybody has brains to be logical and rational, but there are some people who are great in terms of being practical. Allow those people to be top athletes and move away from poverty using sports, whilst getting the embedded way of being a responsible citizen by using sports. Listen, sports. The late Nelson Mandela understood that very well. That sport is just a tool that we use. How quick do we forget? We need again maybe write and say that, listen, take sports, put it at the same level as education. Because all that you do to these young kids, you also do at school. And not too many of them go to school, but you can literally drive the same agenda that is academic to them while they're in the streets by using soccer or using sports. To me, that's it. When I look at Golden Arrows, we had a chat Nabo Mandla before we came here. The 4 matches, first match, we won against Maritzburg. It was a very difficult match, very close, highly competitive. We came through. And then we went to Bloemfontein Celtic. Bloemfontein Celtic, we got the shock. We played good football, stuck to our guns. We played the way Golden Arrows plays. Celtic was just scoring on the day. Then we went on cheaper. We won the match, the last kick. Then today at Orlando Pirates, the theme for the team talk coming to Orlando Pirates was exactly the reference to those matches. Mental fortitude, mental strength. What I pick up, or what we picked up with Golden Arrows, is that mentally they've gone to a level where they seem to be stable. Let me directly refer. Maritzburg, very tight, came through, resilience, mental strength. Go to Bloemfontein Celtic, lose 5-0. Any team could have lost direction. Then we came back and we played well still under those circumstances, which told you that this team plays their way. They are very resilient and clear. Then came Cheaper. Now look at the test against Cheaper. We scored first, and then we grew and developed with the match. They equalized, and there was about 10 minutes to go. Under any abnormal or normal circumstances, our players would have said, oh goodness me, there it goes again. They didn't. We kept pushing. Knox missed a chance, clear-cut chance, the one he chipped over Tinyep. We could have collapsed it to say, oh goodness me, we can't. They didn't. The last kick, they want any team that wins matches of football towards end of the match, they show a sign of great mental strength. So that's one thing that we picked up in 4 matches. Come to Orlando, remain calm, control the opponent, have a great defensive shape, and just couldn't come out and be incisive. And you can feel even in the dressing room, they still come. So there's something that probably cannot be touched, that cannot be seen, but can be felt by those who know. The mental strength is getting to another level. We are happy with that. That's what we picked up. And then points. Out of 5 matches, wanted to get 10. We are currently on 7. We left with 1 match, which says you must win your last match to make 10 out of the 5. And when you get 10 points out of 5, you know what happens. At the end of the season with that bundle, obviously things are going to change. You get to 60. So our aim, we're aiming high so that if anything happens, we're still comfortable wherever we drop. I'm currently at Golden Arrows, and I'm happy to be here.
Mandated arrows.
Right, that come again.
Ask about the mandated.
Are you interested?
That's a good one, Velile. You were so sharp. Oh, it is the highest level. It is the highest level. Would you deny yourself an opportunity where you've been challenged to go to the highest level? I don't think you would, but again, your responses must be extremely measured because you are currently holding a particular position. Then you're sending some signals and messages, and you don't want to be sending mixed messages. But any coach, anybody, any coach in the PSL, I'm sure would love to be called for Bafana. But I'm going to repeat. It is not such a measure that it must happen, come what or what. If it happens, it would have happened. If it doesn't happen, listen, it will take, how many coaches do we have here? We still have a long way to go. I'm only 52. And if you take me and put cycles of 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, 4 years, even if it's lottery, at some stage you must hit it. So there's still time. You don't have to be too desperate, and respect those who are gunning for the position. And whoever gets the position, give him the support. Give him the support. The biggest mistake we make. But he created another debate. I don't want to take her time. Mandla said something very interesting. When you check the other national teams or national coaches, and I'm going to respond because sometimes there's a nice statement that was put on my back, and I don't normally respond. I just swallow and move on. There was a statement that no, but it can't be this guy, and I never said I want to be. However, if you go back, whether it's your Jurgen Klinsmann, whether it's Joachim Low, whether all Martinez and all these coaches, even Gareth Southgate and all that, they never won the World Cup to become national coaches with utmost respect. And Pochettino does not become a bad coach because Klopp, how many finals has he been through? It doesn't make him a bad coach either. He's a top coach, top brains. Sometimes these things take time for them to play. Now, when you then want to say South Africa must be coached by a coach who's won the World Cup, yes, Parera was here. And we know what happened. No, Bafana cannot be coached by somebody who has not won 50 trophies. With utmost respect, my wonderful brother I love the most, Brashakes. He's one of the most successful coaches. Now don't come and give us a code or give us a framework that is irrelevant to the argument. Just apply your brain and think and ask yourself what is required for the national team. And sometimes you might be looking everywhere else, the solution is here. But because of the level of arrogance and expectation that only that which shines deserves to be on the table, no, you're mistaken. Calm down, think properly, don't be emotional, be rational. Sometimes hatred obscures us from seeing what is. When you're full of hatred, you see nothing. Sometimes you don't have to tackle the man. You gotta play the ball. Go for the ball. The other one I must clarify for this is when we were at Bloemfontein Celtic, I just want to reflect again on how sports works. Bloemfontein Celtic, we lose 5-0. The supporters at Celtic are amazing. They call you, hey Steve, they sing a song. You go there, I am reeling. My heart is just, I'm tired, I'm finished. I'm going to them, I appreciate them, they appreciate me. And then it comes the next day, but how can he go celebrate? He was hammered 5-0, he celebrates with me. Let me remind you, even before I went there to celebrate with them, when they hammered me 5-0, we knocked them out of the net bank, but I was there celebrating with them. They received it. They never said, no, go, you beat us. We can't be sour because things did not go our way. We need a higher level of maturity to apply ourselves because we are not only coaches, we are leaders. We reflect, society looks into us to move on. If I'm a bitter leader, I'm developing a bitter society. But even in a bitter situation, when I get better, I make others to keep quiet, look, reflect, and start acting more rational than emotional. We gotta think about what we do. Most of the time we don't think, we just act. And actions without proper thoughts, you know what happens. Consequences are severe.